Do you find yourself spending money impulsively? It's a question we've all had to ask ourselves at one point or another. You know the feeling you're scrolling through an online store or wandering through the mall, and before you know it, you've made a purchase that you didn't plan for or even need. It's called impulse spending, and it's a habit that can wreak havoc on your financial health. Impulse spending is like a sneaky thief, silently draining your bank account, often leaving you wondering where all your hard-earned money went. It's not just about the occasional splurge on a fancy dinner or a new pair of shoes. It's about those unplanned, often unnecessary purchases that we make on a whim. And while it might bring a moment of happiness, the long-term impact can be a cycle of debt, financial stress, and regret. But here's the good news. Breaking the habit of impulse spending is not an impossible task. Here are some practical tips and strategies to help you curb impulse shopping. The first tip is to take control of your finances with a comprehensive budget. You start by outlining your monthly income and all necessary expenses. This could be your rent, utility bills, groceries, transportation, the basics. Then you allocate specific amounts for different spending categories. Maybe you set aside a certain amount for dining out or for your morning coffee runs. The idea here is to have a clear understanding of where your money is going, and more importantly, where it should be going. This strategic planning not only helps you stay on track but also gives you a sense of control over your financial life. It makes it easier to resist those impulse buys because you've got your financial boundaries clearly defined. It's not about restricting yourself, it's about making smarter choices with your money. The second tip is to know your triggers. What is it that leads you down the path of impulse spending? Is it stress, boredom, social pressure? Maybe it's the thrill of scoring a deal or the comfort of retail therapy. Identifying these triggers is like mapping out the battlefield of your financial discipline. Now, understanding your triggers isn't about blaming yourself. It's about gaining insight into your patterns of behavior. It's about knowing that when you're stressed, you tend to click add to cart more often, or that when you're bored, window shopping might turn into actual shopping. Once you've identified these triggers, you're better equipped to manage them. You can develop strategies to combat them, like finding healthier outlets for stress, or engaging in activities that keep you entertained without costing a dime. Recognizing your triggers is the first step towards controlling them. The third tip is to consider using cash or debit cards instead of credit cards. This subtle shift in payment method can be a powerful tool in curbing impulsive spending. Using cash or debit cards creates a tangible limit on your spending. It's harder to overspend when you can physically see your wallet thinning. On the other hand, credit cards can sometimes give us a false sense of unlimited funds, leading to uncontrolled spending and subsequent debt. By allocating a specific amount of cash for discretionary spending each week, you give yourself a clear boundary. This tangible limit can make you more aware of each purchase you make, helping you think twice before parting with your hard-earned money. And when that cash is gone, it's gone. No dipping into other funds or pulling out those tempting credit cards. Once the cash is gone, resist the urge to dip into other funds or use cards. The fourth tip is to adopt the 24-hour rule. This rule is a simple yet effective strategy to curb impulse spending. Let's say you're walking through a store or browsing online and you spot something that you're tempted to buy on the spot. Instead of giving into this impulse, you apply the 24-hour rule. You pause and wait for a full day before deciding whether or not to make the purchase. This waiting period can make a world of difference. It gives you time to consider whether the item is truly necessary or if it's just a fleeting desire. It provides a chance to reflect on your financial goals and to evaluate if this purchase aligns with them. It's an opportunity to ask yourself, do I really need this or can I afford this? The 24-hour rule can help you avoid regrettable spur-of-the-moment purchases. It encourages you to make thoughtful, deliberate decisions about your spending. The fifth tip is to plan your purchases in advance with a shopping list. Now, this isn't just a grocery list we're talking about. This extends to all your purchases, from household items to clothing, gadgets, and even gifts. Having a shopping list not only helps you remember what you need, but also serves as a tangible reminder of your spending plan. Think of it as a roadmap that guides your spending decisions. It's a brilliant tool to avoid those pesky impulse buys. You see, when you've got a list, you're less likely to be swayed by sales and discounts that lead to unnecessary purchases. You're more focused on what you need rather than what you want. Also, a shopping list can help you prioritize your purchases. You can allocate your resources better and make informed decisions about what to buy and when to buy it. So remember, before you head out or click on that online store, make a list. A shopping list keeps your spending focused and intentional. The sixth tip is to define your financial goals. Whether you're looking to save for a new car, a house, or perhaps a dream vacation, having a clear vision of what you want to achieve financially can serve as a powerful motivator to resist unnecessary spending. It's more than just saying I want to save money. Be specific. How much do you want to save? By when? What are you saving for? Short-term and long-term goals each play their part. Short-term goals keep you motivated with quick wins, while long-term goals provide a steady direction. Keep these goals in mind, write them down, revisit them regularly, and adjust as necessary. Every dollar saved from avoiding impulsive purchases is a step closer to your goals. The seventh tip is to steer clear of tempting environments. If you find yourself constantly drawn to malls, boutique shops, or online shopping websites, it's high time to switch up your surroundings. These environments can trigger the impulse to spend and make controlling your habit a steeper uphill battle. Instead, try engaging in activities that don't involve shopping. Maybe pick up a new hobby, spend time in nature, or explore the world of books. The key here is to create a new, healthier routine that keeps you away from those tempting environments. After all, the old adage rings true: out of sight is often out of mind. The eighth tip is to reduce online shopping temptations by unsubscribing from marketing emails. We live in a digital age where our inboxes are constantly bombarded with tempting deals, discounts, and promotions. These emails often play a significant role in driving impulse purchases. Here's an idea. Why not hit that unsubscribe button? It's a simple yet effective way to reduce temptation. By unsubscribing, you reduce the number of times you're exposed to these irresistible offers. The fewer times you see that 50% off deal or that new product release, the less likely you are to make an impulsive purchase. It's all about out of sight, out of mind. So, take a few minutes to go through your inbox. Unsubscribe from those promotional emails that often lead you to spend money you hadn't planned to spend. It's a step towards a more mindful way of spending money. Remember, less exposure to temptation equals fewer impulsive purchases. The ninth tip is to consider deleting shopping apps from your phone. The convenience of having the entire world of retail at your fingertips can be a double-edged sword. It's all too easy to make impulsive purchases when it's as simple as a few taps on a screen. By removing these apps, you are creating a small hurdle in the path to impulsive buying. You're not completely cutting yourself off from online shopping, but you're making it a bit more of a process. If you really need to buy something, use a desktop computer where the process is more deliberate and less impulsive. This simple act of deletion can be surprisingly effective. It's a small change, but these small changes can add up to a big impact on your spending habits. It's not about eliminating shopping completely, but about making more conscious, intentional decisions about what you truly need. Make impulse buying less convenient, and you'll likely do it less. The 10th tip is to practice mindfulness around your spending habits. Being mindful means staying present and fully engaged with what you're doing at the moment. It's about paying attention to your emotions and the impact of your actions. When it comes to spending, mindfulness can be a powerful tool. Start by noticing how you feel before making a purchase. Are you anxious, excited, or maybe a little guilty? These feelings can provide valuable insights into why you're reaching for your wallet. Next, pay attention to your emotions during the act of buying. Does the thrill of the purchase outweigh the potential stress it might cause to your budget? Then, reflect on how you feel after the purchase. Did the item bring you the satisfaction you hoped for, or are you left with buyer's remorse? By being mindful and considering these aspects, you can make more intentional decisions about your spending. Mindfulness fosters a more thoughtful approach to spending. The 11th tip is to share your financial goals with someone you trust. Having an accountability partner, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a financial advisor, can make a world of difference. When you share your plans with someone else, you're not just making a promise to yourself, but also to them. It's an external commitment that can provide an extra boost of motivation when the going gets tough. Knowing that you'll have to explain your decisions to your accountability partner might just be the deterrent you need. They can help you remember your goals and why you decided to curb your impulse spending in the first place. Moreover, this person can serve as a source of support, cheering you on and celebrating your successes along the way. They can provide constructive feedback and help you stay on track when you're tempted to veer off course. The 12th tip is to reward yourself for sticking to your budget and financial goals. This is a crucial part of the journey because, let's face it, who doesn't love a little self-appreciation? When you set up a reward system, you motivate yourself to keep going, to keep saving, and to resist those impulse purchases. This doesn't mean you have to splurge on an expensive trip or a costly gadget. Rewards can be simple pleasures that you enjoy, like a favorite dessert, a relaxing evening with a good book, or a leisurely walk in the park. The important thing is that it should make you feel good, and it should be something you look forward to. So, set yourself some milestones. For every month you stick to your budget, give yourself a small reward. For every major financial goal you achieve, give yourself a bigger treat. Remember, every small victory is worth celebrating.